am I the asshole for being annoyed that my wife allowed my brother to stay at our house?
His brother?
His brother, yeah.
I'm gonna go no for this one. I personally, this is my ADHD talking. I do not like things that changes unless being given like way in advance notice. If this is like something impromptu, which is kind of the vibe that I'm getting at, I would also feel some type of way. I need some like 30 days notice to get myself mentally prepared.
And you also hate having brothers, so.
I also hate having siblings. I famously dislike having siblings. That's why I don't have one.
You have a brother's tattoo on your arm, though.
That's true. I have a brotherhood tattoo, but I hate brothers.
Hates blood brothers. He's okay with
yes, would fake would like
friend brothers
from other mothers. Yeah. I'm okay with that.
Fair. Yeah, I'll say not the asshole as well. You're allowed to be annoyed if you want. You might be an asshole if you make like a big deal about it and whatever. But yeah, I mean, inviting anybody to stay at your house without consulting your partner first seems, like it's a shared space. That should be talked about before you go ahead and just, let anybody stay over. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
Watch, his brother just had like the worst tragedy happen to him.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's tough.
We'll find out. And I will say this one does come with an update, just for a little bit of a tease. Ooh. So my 39 male brother, 20, lives with his girlfriend about an hour away from me and my wife. My brother and I have never been close due to the age difference. Our parents had me young and then had him later in life. So they have about a 19-year difference between them.
Mm.
He was always the spoiled one who got whatever he wanted. We see each other on holidays and special occasions, but other than that, we might talk on the phone once or twice a month. Last night I had to work late and could not be reached by anyone. When I got off, I noticed that I had 2 missed calls from my brother and a few from my wife, but it was already close to 11 p.m., so I just chose to drive home and not call and possibly wake someone up. I walk into the house and see my wife, 41 female, and my brother on the couch playing Mario Kart. When I walk in, they both say hi and go back to their games. I went to the bedroom to shower and frankly just sleep because I was exhausted. My wife comes in a few minutes later and I ask her why my brother was there. She said he had called her because he and his girlfriend had gotten into a pretty heated argument and he just needed to get away from the situation for a little while he figured out what he was going to do. They only have one car and it's his girlfriend's name. It's in his girlfriend's name, so he couldn't take it. Apparently he tried to call me and when I didn't answer, he called her and she went and picked him up an hour away, even though she hates driving at night. They also went out for dinner before coming home. I told her that I find it odd that she would pick my brother up and take him to dinner just because he got into an argument with his girlfriend, that he is an adult and needs to work it out. She just rolled her eyes at me and said he would be staying in the spare room as long as he needed, and that I was acting weird, and that he is my brother and has no idea why it was such a big deal that he was there. I told her that if someone is staying in my house, especially my family, I should be the one who decides that. He has no right to call her, that he should have waited for me to call him back, and would be talking to him in the morning. She told me to deal with it and grow up, and that he was always welcome here. My wife is now mad at me, and I'm stuck with my brother in the house for who knows how long until he figures out his life. We already have 2 teens. I don't need another kid here. I also stand by what I said. My brother doesn't need to be here, but my wife is still mad at me today. So am I the asshole for saying that she should have not picked my brother up and allowed him to stay here at the house?
They both kind of suck.
Yeah, I was going to say everybody kind of sucks here. Because, if this was just like, I don't think I would have gotten mad at this situation. I would have been like,
same,
my bad for not answering the call. That's on me. We'll talk. I mean, I don't want him to stay as long as he wants. I mean, we have to have some sort of compromise. I'm not paying groceries for this fool. But stay the night. That's fine. We'll talk about, the circumstances and tomorrow. But she also sucks by being like, well, sucks to suck.
Get over it.
Get over it. You know what I mean? Like, it's worth a conversation, but also Opie sounds like he wasn't really trying to have a conversation. Don't love that he's saying, if it's my house, my family, not great, especially, they have teenagers already. So, I'm assuming here, I don't know, but sounds like maybe they've been married for a while. If that's the case, family is family. especially after that length of.
That's technically her family too.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm
At this
saying.
point.
Like at this point, at a long relationship like that, in-laws and they're real siblings at this. Like all my in-laws, I've known for like 10 years plus. So
Yeah.
like they call me brother, I call them sister. My brother-in-laws, I call them my brother, call them kuya. So it's like, at a certain point, that's also her brother. So, it's wild for you to be like my house, my family, and to be so like upset about it. I mean, in my opinion, it's worth having the talk afterwards for sure to lay like some ground rules because obviously all this happened without you. But it's weird for me to see you freak out about it.
Yeah.
I gotta agree in that scenario too. And at the end of the day, it was also his choice not to like answer those phone calls. If he sees this as a pattern, like, oh, why is my wife calling me? And then all of a sudden, why is my brother calling me?
Yeah.
To me, that constitutes an emergency in my eyes. So I would have like stepped away from whatever it is that I was doing to be like, oh shit, is there something wrong?
Especially
I
when
would've
you got off of work already and was like, oh, it's
Yeah.
late. Like that could
Yeah.
be, like you said, it could be way worse.
Yeah.
than for you to just be
could've
like,
been-
nah, I'll call him.
I'll just
maybe
drive
tomorrow."
home.
I don't want
Yeah.
to wake anyone up.
Yeah,
that's-
that's kind of a
that's-
bullshit
that's-
excuse.
That is wild to me. I wouldn't have reacted the same way, like angry. I would have been like, yeah, you're cool. Stay here for a night, but that's just for a night, right? The type of deal. I don't like what the wife did either. Like, kind of just say like, yeah, buckle up or whatever. Do whatever he needs to do. Like, I don't give a shit. Like what you say at this point, they'll stay no matter or however long they want. Don't like that. They both suck at communicating at that point. One doesn't pick up their phone call or their phone. The other one just was like, I'm gonna overrule everything you say. So they need to get better at that.
I might
Yeah.
get flamed for this, but I'm saying asshole. I
I don't think you're, because we said everyone kind of sucks. So like, I think that's
So
fair.
in a way,
yeah.
yeah.
But like, I just think like the whole thing where he said my house, my rules basically was
bad.
fucked up. Like not even willing to like talk about it and like just being like, no, he's got to grow up and get out of here. Which like with all the backstory, it doesn't sound like the brother did anything. He just existed.
Well, they probably just don't. They just don't have a relationship like that. That's probably why. To him, it's probably like he's a stranger.
Well, I mean, two calls a month, sees them at all the family
pretty good.
things. That's decent. That's more than a stranger. I will say this though: if this guy is so bad at picking up the phone, there is a chance that your wife is closer to your siblings than you.
Yeah,
are. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Maybe.
And so for me, it's like it just seems like a weird like hill to die on for him to be like,
Yeah.
no, I don't fucking want him here. Just it gave me a bit of an ick, and I think the wife is just like, no, like this is your brother, like you should be supporting him and like helping him out, like, and it probably won't be that long. Sure, I agree. Setting ground rules in the morning, great idea. That's a good idea. But this is like he's basically not even willing to entertain that. He's like, nah, he's got to find his own place or figure it out himself. Not willing to support your family kind of seems pretty fucked up in the scenario where I don't think the brother did anything in what we've seen.
Just
so
had in a
far.
fight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or even in the whole
Like, I
relationship
mean,
of the
yeah.
like he's never done anything that has pissed off the 19-year-old besides just be spoiled, which is, as the youngest sibling, it kind of just happens that way. You're not
Right.
I don't
And-
want
and
to
you have
be
such a
spoiled.
giant,
I'm
like-
just the youngest and I'm
Yeah.
treated a certain way. What you just expected? I don't know.
But it's also a 20
and there's like
years
such a
difference.
like an age gap. Yeah, I was gonna say that age gap
Yeah.
difference. You're probably more than capable of taking care of your own during that time. But yeah, I can see where you're coming from. That he might be the asshole. I just feel some type of way. I also don't like how the wife communicated.
That's
even
fair.
though
Yeah.
they might be close with each other, like as far as like that the sibling is concerned.
For sure. Like I said, there is an update, so we can dive into that if you want to get some more
Cool.
context and figure out what happened.
They've both kicked me out of my own house.
Update. I don't think just because I think at 18 a person should be out of the house and not rely on their family to support them makes me a bad person. People need to grow up and be adults. I expect the same from my children. They are expected to have a job and save money to move out when they are 18 and graduate from high school. If they go to college, they can stay, but are expected to pay for it on their own and pay a small amount of rent.
Ooh.
So I think the
I
comments.
can't wait for this guy to get old as fuck and his kids to be like, hey, we'll take mom in. You can fucking live on the
Yeah,
goddamn
you're a grown
street.
ass man.
Yeah.
Go ahead, fucking take care of your own damn
I know
self.
you're retired,
don't
but
like
let's
that.
go ahead and pay rent, bucko. You fucking
Yeah.
piece of shit.
Yeah, don't like that.
So my wife does not agree with this and says they can stay as long as they need,
As a
I'm
normal
trying-
person would.
as a normal parent would for sure.
Yep.
I'm trying to make her see the reason. As a kid, I was never taken to the zoo, museums, or out to eat. I was sent to public school and not allowed to play sports or do activities because there was never money. I had to get a job as soon as I could. My parents were 16 when they had me. Even when they got older and had more money, I still did not get the opportunities that my brother was given. He got the best and I got nothing. It's time he stood on his own.
Sounds like a you problem, brother.
Yeah,
It sounds like
dude.
some pent up resentment. Also, shouldn't you be
That's
wanting?
me.
Shouldn't you be
The better
wanting
life.
better for your
Yeah,
kids?
I love how he's
and
like, I
for-
hated
Your
my
kids.
childhood. I want my kids to also hate that.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Also,
Hell no.
better for your sibling. I mean, when you have a sibling, and you're fucking 19, 18, I know that's just your sibling, but you got to feel, I don't know. I would feel some sort of like parental guidance over that kid
Yeah.
too. Like I would want the world for my fucking super young ass sibling. So this guy just seems miserable and holds a lot of pent up resentment
Towards
his
the wrong
parents.
people, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely like misplaced anger.
And also, it's
Yeah.
not even his parents' fault. I don't even. That's just the
It was a
circumstances at
struggle.
the time. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
Just because your younger brother could play sports 18 years later, how old are you by that point? You're like 36. So like, what do you want?
Big age of 36.
You want them to pay for your? I don't know. Yeah. For what?
kids?
You're 36. What do you
Yeah.
want, man? So yeah, this guy's kind of just fucking miserable. It needs to.
I
I agree.
Chill out.
with all the added context. I am
there's
gonna
more.
go full blown
We're not done
asshole.
yet.
Oh man,
Fucking
holy
sick.
shit! I'm already thinking
Sean
he's an
just
asshole.
jumped in on that.
Sorry.
And I said go. he was cooking. Yes, my kids got to go to the zoo/park/museum, play sports, and attend activities. They got a lot of what I didn't, but those are my kids, not my brother. I don't see why my wife would take him along with her. My brother has always loved her like another mom, so I had to share her with my brother too, which is a weird way to
Okay,
phrase that.
now that's weirdly fucking. Yeah, you got a lot of trauma, my guy. You need to get help.
Yeah.
Get
therapy
therapy.
would be good.
I got home from work last night. Everyone was getting ready for dinner. After dinner, I told the kids to please go to the room so I could talk to my brother and wife. I asked my brother why he was there and why he felt the need to call us instead of working it out. And he said he just needed to get out of the house. He had found out that his girlfriend had cheated on him and she was planning on leaving. She blamed him for her cheating because he wouldn't marry her or have a baby with her. And that was really what she wanted.
Damn,
At
motherfucker's 20?
Yeah. I mean, she can want what she wants, but
I mean,
not cheat on him. That's
yeah,
a
don't
fucking
cheat. Just
terrible
break
way.
up with him. You're 20.
Yeah.
What the
Also,
fuck? For
Jesus.
real.
You're 20. What's the rush?
Why are we rushing into this? I said what she wanted wasn't unreasonable, that he was being immature. If he could live with her, he could marry her.
Bro,
My wife said that not everyone wants to be married and have children that young. He is an adult.
Yes.
Grow up, apparently, is what he's saying.
oh, retirement
Fuck
home.
OP,
No
dude.
visitations
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Fuck this guy.
Holy.
I said I didn't appreciate them making decisions without me. This could have been sorted out the next morning. No one needed to drive 2 hours or run away from home. I asked my brother when he was planning on leaving. He talked to his girlfriend. She was moving out by Sunday. Then he would go home. He had 2 months left on his lease, so he was going to look for something smaller to move into. I said that I didn't like him staying that long, which is like a week, a couple days. What the fuck? My wife said, he is your brother. A few days are not going to kill anyone. I agreed just to stop the fight. I didn't like it, but I felt backed into a corner. I still think he needs to go home and deal with his own problems. My brother said, thanks, I appreciated it, and walked off. My wife and I talked some more. Neither one of us is really happy with one another. And that is the update.
I take it back. I'm glad the
Yeah,
fucking wife
full on asshole.
stood on
Yeah.
business. Yeah, this guy's a full asshole. Jesus
I feel like-
Christ. Take your trauma and sit down with a goddamn professional and talk it all out. Don't take it out on everybody and you're a bitch ass, miserable, fucking ugly face. Talk to somebody, you idiot.
Yeah, part of me is like, I don't think the wife would have been like my way or the highway so bad if he wasn't being such a fucking bitch to begin with. Because she's been pretty fucking reasonable besides that one instance, as opposed to him being a fucking miserable piece of shit this whole time. So it's just like, I don't fucking know, dude. Chill out, brother. Like less than a week. Is that really worth having a fight and like having everyone mad at you? Also, you're like a weird combination of being very stubborn and annoying, but also a fucking bitch. Like just stopping all like this. It's my way or the highway, and it's usually the highway, and that's fine, I guess. But just being so mad about it the whole time, like, oh yeah, I'm just agreeing not to fight, but I don't really agree. Just fucking, you are the opposite of standing on business. I feel like,
You calling your little brother spoiled, and yet you're acting like the entitled one in this fucking scenario.
yeah,
Honestly. Yeah. And for me, it's like, I mean, it's always weird to me, people who are like, I had to struggle, so my kids or my, in this case, my brother has to struggle. It's like, don't you want your kids to not have to struggle the way you did? Don't you want a better future, like start for them in life? Like
why,
if you seriously,
why do you want your loved ones to have this? Why don't you want your loved ones to have better?
Yeah.
You should want everyone that you love to have a better experience than you are having.
Yes.
Or have.
Exactly.
So it's just
as someone who grew up with like no experiences growing up, none of those zoo experience, none of those fucking shit that like normal kids tend to kind of enjoy growing up. You know what? Now that I'm a little better like financially in my life, guess what I'm doing? I'm gonna spoil the shit of the like people that I love, right? Like, hey, let's go to dinner. I got you. Mom, I'm taking you on a full expense vacation. I got you. It has to be like that.
Yeah.
Don't fucking, first of all, you brought your kids to this world. It is your responsibility to take care of them. Just because they turn a magical of age of 18, all of a sudden, they got to be responsible for everything. Do you know how the economy looks like today, brother? You'd be lucky. You'd be lucky if those kids don't get out of the nest by the time they're like, 21 or 25 at this point. You dumb bitch. You deserve to get left like in the retirement home later on in life.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's
anger inducing. He had me in the first half. I felt for him for a little bit, and then he opened his goddamn mouth.
He just kept doubling down.
Jesus Christ.
Get therapy. I don't know how to read. Get therapy.